Hello and welcome to another top 10 or 20 or whatever you want to see. Hello and welcome to another top 10 or 20 or whatever you want to see. Number 20, May. Named after Cinco de Mayo, which is when she was found by Johnny, May is a member of the Jellyfish Air Pirates and possesses superhuman strength, which she uses to wield a massive anchor. Some years later, Johnny got caught for doing Robin Hood-like acts, and then May sets off to save him, and the first guilty game begins. Her age and true identity are still unknown. She can also summon sea creatures, and has an irrational fear of bald men and can sense them from afar. Number 19, Cube. Cube, Combo, and Coin used to rule the streets of Grind City. That is, until the Golden Rhinos came and kidnapped Coin. Cube and Combo then set off to Tokyoto to save their favorite pal. Cube is one of the fastest and can skate hard for a long time with her stamina, lacking slightly in spray and grind abilities. As the goth girl of the group, it's not hard to see why I thought she was fly. It's only fitting that unlocking her and Combo required quite a bit of effort, as they were both great at what they do. Number 18, Koyori. Poster girl for her own cafe, with an ability to balance almost anything on her tray, this waitress really knows how to sweep up. Koyori strayed from her parents after birth and almost died of starvation, but an old woman who ran the tea house saved her life. She then changed herself into a human to repay the old lady's kindness with servitude. Meows, mews, and nyas are often a part of her dialogue. In this game, we follow her on a quest to stop a dine and dash goblin and fight anyone who gets in her way, even if that includes firing a cursed bazooka or getting past this guy. Number 17, Ooh La La. As a kid, she loved watching the Galaxy Kids news program, and at the age of 12, she was the only survivor of the spaceship incident and rescued by the Space Channel 5 reporter. This act inspired her to devote herself entirely to the station. 2 years after being hired, she finally got her big break in the game we all know her for. This confident diva takes down the rival stations like it's nothing, leaving Pudding from Channel 42 and Jaguar from the Space Pirate broadcasters in the dust. Let's just say, Ooh La La knows how to get down, 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 down. Number 16, Taki. The Hunter of Darkness, Sealed Sword of Godspeed, partial shadow of demon sealing, she who seals off evil. Taki goes by many names, with some unblockable attacks, speedy jabs, and quick feet. Her signature red tights and, sword, Riki Maru, have always been a part of her looks over the years. Taki was orphaned after her parents died of sickness. A ninja master then raised her and taught her the many secret techniques of his clan. That's when she decided to travel all throughout Japan and defeat the evil demons that threatened people. Hearing the Soul Edge was an evil blade, she sets off immediately to destroy it. Number 15, Ayla. Chief of her village for being known as strong and fearless, Ayla led her people in the war against the reptiles. Upon Chrono's arrival to obtain a dream fragment, Ayla soon decides to join them in their fight to destroy Lavos, after a heavy night of drinking, of course. Ayla was born before the time of magic and cannot use any, but she does have the ability to control dinosaurs and hit really hard with acrobatic feats that are very beneficial in tech usage. With high attack and high defense, Ayla is often seen as one of the first tank-like females in an RPG. Number 14, Harley. The Harlequin of Chrono Cross. Birthed from the dragon god and seeking the frozen flame, she is Lynx's sidekick and a character I really liked and had compassion for. Her feelings for Surge eventually led her to make some very tough decisions. Thought to be a descendant of Shala herself, this petite powerhouse had high stats and was only able to be part of your team for a very limited time. Heavily French-inspired, Harley often speaks in a French-English blend. Number 13, Maru. Ever spunky and high-spirited, this whimsical wingly uses her huge hammer and devastating dances to pummel her opponents. Maru makes for a good healer or tactical tapper. Maru is quite a bit different from the other winglies being explorative, defiant, and loud. She didn't really fit in with most of them. Upon meeting Dart, she follows the team like a puppy and eventually ends up joining them by doing so. Number 12, Aya Bria. Born with a bunk right eye, Aya's mother and sister died in a car crash when she was just 5. Her sister's organs were used to fix Aya's right eye, and a kidney went to a patient direly in need. However, the mitochondria in her sister's DNA were highly evolved and began to shape both of the children's genetic structures. Years later, she joined the NYPD. The patient who had received the kidney years back, Melissa, was performing at Carnegie Hall and invited Aya to come. But something inside Melissa triggered upon looking into Aya's eyes during the performance, and suddenly, Aya's future would be changed forever. Number 11, Alice Elliott. As a child, Alice could hear supernatural voices and sense evil emotions. Her father, the priest, recruited her as an exorcist early on. One day, a magician seeking an ultimate power saw Alice as the key to obtaining it. Then goes the kidnapper, but her father slows down the magician by sacrificing himself. Just as the Japanese government sweeps in and tries to take her back to Japan. This is when she meets Yuri and the game starts. Alice, like most things in this game, has her quirky moments, such as beating things with Bibles and, powerful spells. Number 10, Raquel Applegate. Raquel's never been one to let others push her around. As a handful of survivors from her hometown being obliterated with an incurable disease since birth, she's always strived to see life for its beauty. As you play, a love story more compelling than Squall and Renoa develops between her and your party's sorcerer, Arnott. Never one to panic or act prissy, Raquel is more than willing to lend her skilled blade and rational mind to help save the world devastated by war. One of her favorite things to do is draw landscapes that still show the beauty left in this war-torn land. Number 9, Momo. Part of the Grass Runner clan, a tribe with animal-like features, Momo is a super scientist and knows just about any machine. She uses Chrism in a lot of her inventions, which sometimes leads to some pretty unpredictable outcomes, but always seem to do the trick. Her lab assistant, Honey, is also very important in her day-to-day routine, taking down notes or helping her out around the shop. With her wonderful ears, nerdy charm, and Chrism-powered bazooka, she is easily one of my favorites. Number 8, Maiev. To me, this is the night elf who shaped the World of Warcraft as we know it. Her lustful, never-ending quest to track down Illidan and imprison or murder him has impacted many lives, and mostly in a negative way. She's so determined in her pursuit that she's willing to use deception, lies, or whatever it takes to accomplish her task as a jailer. Feeling imprisoned herself as Illidan's gatekeeper for 10,000 years, she doesn't really care who gets in the way, as long as she gets her man. Number 7, Agrias Oaks. Holy knight and newly appointed bodyguard to Princess Ovelia, this proud pally spent most of her time serving the royal family's lion guard. One day, while she's watching over the princess prey, several knights show up and try to start a fight. This is when Delita slips into the back door of the church and kidnaps the princess, leaving Agrias to track her down and once more offer her protection. The adventure that ensues takes her on an amazing path filled with loyal companions, liars, and love. Number 6, Ellieham Van Houten. Ellie finds herself torn between two worlds, her past lives and her current reincarnation. She was raised very privileged and joined the military academy in her youth. She knows she's a little different from the rest of the Solarians, as she has red hair and her eyes are a shade of blue-violet, when normally they have blonde hair and blue eyes. When you first meet her, she seems to be in a panic or lost, but as you play the game, you soon find out she has an amazing inner strength, and she is certainly not wandering. Number 5, Freya, the Burmesian Dragoon. Throughout the history of Final Fantasy, I feel Freya is the coolest and most tragic of all. Sorry, Kane. Her winged helmet, wicked red mail, tied-off tail make for a great look. Her backstory is relatable and sad. Freya's long-lost love, Lord Fratley, And the story that unfolds there is truly something to experience for oneself. After all, to be forgotten is worse than death. Number 4. Emperor Junan, Black Knight of Mass Death. As you can see, Junan is a powerhouse of death and destruction. Years after Goldar kills her father, Toragar, she sees war on the horizon and takes up blade to avenge her father and redeem the Tristan Empire. She wears the mask to strike fear into her opponents and make sure that they do not belittle her in battle for being a woman. She prefers to keep her face hidden when not dealing with domestic affairs. Number 3. Hsien-ko and her twin, Mei Ling, studied to become sages, but on the night of their graduation, Darkstalkers attack and their mother ends up giving her life to save these two sisters. Through a turn of events, Hsien-ko becomes a Jiangshi and her sister a ward to prevent Sheni from going completely mad. Their mother now serves as a tool in a way, allowing the sisters to access various abilities while they fight for freedom from the void that they woke up in and regain their lost souls. Hsien-ko being one of my favorite gals of all time due to her nothing up this sleeve, nothing up this sleeve techniques in battle. Number 2. Celeste and Tera. Both former Magi-Tech soldiers for the Empire. The team of Celeste and Tera is an odd mix that works to perfection in the heat of battle, with powers that balance each other out. Celeste is able to runic, a move that absorbs the next spell cast, and Tera is just a magical morphing mastermind. To me, the backstory of both of these girls is amazing, each one having a large amount of pain and suffering. To me, tragedy is beauty, and these two are the definition of that. Since I feel they both deserve an entire video, I'll leave it up to you to find out why. Number 1. Tron Bond, the engineer with an attitude. Tron and her 40 created Servbot helpers pester Mega Man in the Legends series. She also had her own game, The Misadventures of Tron Bond, a prequel, and fought in the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3 games. She can pilot almost anything and is a valuable asset to the Bond family of air pirates. Tron is my first place winner due to her style, charm, and the fact that if she didn't have a crush on Mega Man, he may have been by now due to her sheer mechanic brilliance. Teasel and Bond, her brothers, are always willing to help and always very supportive, even if things go awry. Everything about this family is just hilarious, and I had a great time watching their antics, and the relationship between her and Mega Man. Again, sorry, roll. So, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed who I feel are the top 20 females in gaming. Sure, I could have showed more tits and ass. Sure, I could have showed less tits and ass. But the thing is, I'm not in it for the tits and ass, guys. I'm just in it to show you guys some more girls in gaming that aren't on everybody else's list. So, I hope you had a nice time watching the video, and I hope you'll have a nice rest of the day or whatever you do during your thing. Have a good time in life, and see ya.